In the steel loading area, coils were being transported and positioned. Due to a slight slope, one of the coils started to roll. A nearby worker instinctively tried to stop it with his hands, but the coil's weight and momentum were far too great. This incident reminds us that rolling coils are too heavy and dangerous to stop by hand. The correct method is to use chocks, coil restraints, and mechanical handling equipment. Workers must maintain a safe distance whenever a coil can move, and should never step in front of its path. A press machine malfunctioned in a factory, and 2 workers approached to inspect the issue. The machine appeared to be still. One of the workers leaned in to examine the mechanism, and there was no movement. But the moment he leaned in a second time, the press suddenly activated and created a serious danger. This incident shows that even machines that look stopped can still pose a risk. Before any inspection or maintenance, power must be completely cut off and lockout-tagout procedures applied. Communication between team members is essential, and every safety step that prevents accidental startup must be verified. At a manufacturing facility, 2 workers attempted to inspect a possible malfunction on a large machine. One of them entered the machine to take a closer look, but at that moment, the equipment unexpectedly started running. Fortunately, power was quickly cut off, bringing the situation under control. This incident highlights the vital importance of applying lockout-tagout systems during maintenance and inspection. Before performing any maintenance or inspection, power must be completely shut off and the system physically locked. No worker should enter the machine or hazardous areas until energy isolation is fully secured. In industry, safety procedures are not just rules. They are disciplines that protect human lives. Workers in a metal factory unknowingly found themselves standing underneath an active crane. When the crane lowered a heavy load, the workers ended up directly in the danger zone. The area beneath a crane must always remain clear. No one should ever stand under suspended loads, and constant communication between the operator and ground crew is essential. In a steel factory, an overhead crane was lifting a large U-shaped metal profile. While the operator was preparing for the lift, a worker stepped in front of the load to check the sling connection. At that moment, the load shifted unexpectedly and tipped, putting the worker in a dangerous position. This incident demonstrates how risky it is to enter the movement zone of a suspended load. Even a few millimeters of movement from a heavy metal piece can create massive force. Any control or connection task should only be done when the load is fully stabilized and with direct visual communication with the crane operator. In a building lobby, a couple was waiting for the elevator. Everything seemed normal, until a few seconds later, the large glass door behind them came loose from its hinge and fell forward. This incident is a reminder of how important regular maintenance and structural equipment inspections are in buildings. Over time, hinges, frames, and connection points can loosen, especially with large glass doors. Property owners should not neglect periodic maintenance and stability tests. When issues are detected, warning signs or temporary barriers must be placed immediately. A worker was lifting a heavy machine part with a crane, but the hook wasn't fully locked. Shortly after the load was raised, it slipped and dropped rapidly. The worker narrowly escaped a serious injury thanks to a small gap. The team quickly intervened and secured the load safely. This incident shows the importance of ensuring all connections are fully locked and the load balance is checked before any lifting operation. With heavy loads, there is no room for haste. The right equipment, proper locking, and maintaining a safe distance save lives. In a factory, another worker was preparing to unload a bag of material into an industrial mixer. While lifting the bag, he moved too close to the machine, and the rotating mechanism began to pull him in. This incident shows why maintaining a safe distance and full control around active machinery is critical. Mixers and similar equipment should be completely stopped before loading materials, and whenever possible, lockout-tagout procedures should be applied. In a crowded work area, a worker was sitting right next to a large rotating metal wheel. While he continued his task, the machine suddenly malfunctioned, and the heavy wheel detached and dropped to the ground. This incident clearly showed how quickly equipment failures can become dangerous. It is unsafe to sit or wait near rotating or moving machinery. All bolts, connections, and covers should be checked regularly. Protective barriers should be placed around machines, and workers must maintain a safe distance. Proper layout and routine maintenance significantly reduce risks. In a steel plant, a worker was guiding a crane as it lowered large bundles of steel bars onto a truck. While the load was being positioned, he began unhooking the chains. But when the crane chain jammed, the bundle shifted, trapping the worker dangerously in between. This incident emphasizes the importance of proper timing and safe distance during unloading operations. Chains must not be released until the load is stable, and no one should stand in the pinch zone. The crane should only lift when all chains are completely free. Coordination and physical barriers are key to a safe shift. In a busy work area, a worker was feeding sheet metal into a press machine. The first attempts went smoothly, but when the material shifted, the worker bent down to adjust it. At that exact moment, the machine cycled again, creating a dangerous situation. This incident shows how quickly a risk can develop when someone enters the danger zone of a press machine. Protective sensors, two-hand controls, and emergency stop systems must always be active. Adjustments or maintenance should only be performed when all energy sources are completely locked out, and clear communication must be maintained between operators. In a maintenance workshop, a worker touched a motor belt he thought had stopped. However, the system suddenly started, and as the belt began spinning rapidly, the worker lost his balance and was thrown backward. This incident reminds us that even machines that appear to be stopped can still hold residual energy. Machines should never be operated as a joke, test, or for recording purposes. Performing a safe shutdown takes far less time than dealing with an accident. Stay safe and subscribe for more workplace accident videos.